Okay, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Board of Trustees, Long Beach City College for July 23, 2013. The board met in closed session and there were no public comments on closed session items. The board also convened in closed session and pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8 and discussed with its real property negotiators proposed price and terms of payment issues associated with the bid received for a proposed option agreement and ground lease agreement between the district and ISL Development, LLC, for the lease and development of the district's Los Coyotes site. The board voted 5-0 to reject the bid. The board also met in closed session to discuss the contract extension of the president superintendent and will do so and has voted 5-0 to extend the president superintendent's contract through June 30, 2017. So having reported on closed session items, I am now going to call this meeting to order and take a, let's do the flag salute first. Since it'll be my last opportunity as president of the board, I will do the honors. And I want to welcome all of you here to this meeting, and I want to also join me as we salute the flag of our country, and as we do so, to please remember all the men and women in harm's way around the world to protect our freedoms. Ready? Begin.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, let's have a roll call. Madam Secretary, please.
President Uranga.
Present.
Vice President Kellogg.
Here.
Member Bowen.
Here.
Member Clark. Here. Member Otto. Student Trustee Donato.
Here.
Okay, welcome and introductions. President Superintendent Oakley, do we have any announcements? So welcome.
Yes, we do. We have a couple of more individuals that we would like to honor who have decided to retire, and they are both here. So let me begin with individual who has who began her career at Long Beach City College January of 1983 and has served this district in several capacities, including as an adjunct instructor and most recently as the Deputy Director of Finance and Accounting. Her name is Patty Davis, and she has served the district for 17 years and has done so very admirably. She has been the heart and soul of the fiscal operations area, has guided this college's fiscal stability for many, many years and has supported the needs of both faculty and staff throughout her tenure here. I certainly personally credit her for helping this district in all my years that I've been here at maintaining the great fiscal health that we celebrate. So on behalf of the entire college, I want to thank and congratulate Patty Davis on her retirement and ask her to come on up and receive this certificate of appreciation on behalf of the Board of Trustees.
Wasn't prepared to say anything exciting, but just after all these wonderful years here, and I've enjoyed so many folks that I've worked with, my wonderful colleagues, I'm going to miss them all, but I'll still be teaching here part-time, so I'll still be able to see everybody. And I just want to thank everyone for all the wonderful years.
Patty, before you sit down, you want to introduce your guests? I know you have a real special one, it looks like. Madison.
Before. Say hi.
Hi, Madison. You're on TV. Smile. Thank you and congratulations.
And you have one other special guest, don't you? Yes.
Okay. Hi, sweetie.
No, I never thought I'd be calling him sweetie. But well, you married up, or you went up in life. Okay, congratulations, Patty. Next, and certainly not least, we have a faculty member who served as faculty in the Administration of Justice program. He's been an instructor here since, full-time instructor since 1998. Also served as a fire science instructor at Riverside City College, Crafton Hills, and done numerous work training our first responders for many, many years. He served this district for 15 years, touched many, many students throughout his career, always stepping up to serve the college and the needs of the college, always made himself available to me and the entire administration anytime we needed someone to step up and help. So I want to thank him for all of his service, and on behalf of all the students he's touched, the entire family here at Long Beach City College and the Board of Trustees, I want to congratulate Ralph De La Osa on his retirement and ask him to come on up and receive the Certificate of Appreciation.
I don't have a baby to present or a grandchild. I have a great-grandchild, a year-old today. I just want to thank Long Beach City College for all the opportunities I've had to do here. It opened a lot of windows for me, and I made all my goals that I wished for. I know most people here on the board, and most of you know who what I'm referring to, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you for your service, both of you. Congratulations on your retirements. I have an announcement too. I'm retiring from my job this August, so after 28 and a half years with the city of Long Beach. So I'll be joining you out in the coffee shop in the morning, so one of these days somewhere. I also have, see, we have some special guests here as well from the Miguel Contreras Foundation. I see Jonathan. I'm sorry, Jonathan, I couldn't remember your last name. But why don't you stand up, be recognized, and introduce the Miguel Contreras interns that you brought with you today.
Yes, come on up.
Why don't you describe the program a little bit, and then go ahead and introduce your interns.
Thank you, board, administrators, for having us here. So we're here with the Miguel Contreras Foundation, and it's a civic engagement program based out of the Los Angeles Federation County of Labor. And our purpose is to become civically engaged in our communities and get our communities involved as well in the political and civic process of just everything that goes on that affects communities of color. And so we have Alejandra Montoya, stand up please. Mariana Pedrosa, Gina Verdin, Marco Valencia, and Joanna Martinez. So these are a few of our interns that decided to show up today, and
What colleges are represented here?
Long Beach City College and Trade.
LA Trade Tech?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, we have a few transfers here. One of them is going to Northridge this fall, and one is going to Riverside.
Congratulations to you. Welcome.
And yeah, that's all we have. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Welcome.
Roberto?
Okay, we now are at the approval of the minutes of June 25, 2013. Can I have a motion, please?
Trustee Uranga, I think student trustee.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andrea.
I just wanted to acknowledge Marco Valencia, who is our ASB president and was presented with the Miguel Contreras Foundation, just
Okay.
to acknowledge our president.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, too. Okay, approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion, please?
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved as presented. At this point, we're going to come to the ordering of the agenda, and I will pass the gavel over to Eloy, who will take over the meeting as acting chair until a new chair is elected.
All right, this is my favorite part of the year. Okay, ordering of the agenda. We have received a couple of requests to reorder the agenda. One is to pull item 12.1 through 6 from the consent agenda, and we will take that up right after the consent agenda. And I think Trustee Otto, did you want to pull another item?
I want to pull 5.1 and thereunder the superintendent president's contract.
Okay, and we'll pull that part of the agenda as well. I thought that was 12.1. You had 6.1? Yes. Okay, was that different than what? Okay, 6.1. All right, there's not much left.
Scratch 12.1.
Yes, we wanted 12.1 as well. Okay. All right, so any other items from the board that we need to reorder at this time? Okay, hearing none, we will take those items up right after the consent agenda. Okay, item 1.1, reorganization of the Board of Trustees. Pursuant to Administrative Regulation 2015, annual organization meeting and board officers, our July meeting is when we have our reorganization meeting of the board officers. So I hereby open the floor for nominations for President of the Board for 2013 through 2014.
I nominate Jeff Kellogg.
We have a motion and a second to nominate Trustee Kellogg for Board President. All right, can we have a roll call? Well, are there any other nominations?
Move to close nominations.
Hearing none, then declare the nominations closed. Jackie, can you please call the roll?
Member Bowen?
Aye.
Member Clark? Member Kellogg?
Aye.
Member Otto?
Aye.
Member Uranga?
Aye.
All right, congratulations, Board President Kellogg. Okay, now I hereby open the floor for nominations for Vice President of the Board for 2013-2014.
I'd like to nominate Tom Clark, please.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to nominate Dr. Tom Clark. Any other nominations? I thereby declare the nominations closed. Jackie, will you please call the roll?
Member Bowen?
Aye.
Member Clark? Member Kellogg? Member Otto?
Aye.
Member Uranga?
Aye.
Congratulations, Dr. Clark, Vice President for the Board for 2013-2014. Okay, item 1.6, recognition of the Board of Trustees.
Point two. That's 1.2.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1.2.
Don't,
I know, geez,
don't quit your day job.
really. It's that board secretary. You know? I'd like to take this moment to recognize our outgoing board chair, Roberto Uranga, for his service as president of the board for 2012-2013. He has served this district very well over the year. It's been one of the most difficult years to preside over. He guided us with a very steady hand through some very difficult board meetings. So on behalf of all of us here at Long Beach City College, I want to thank outgoing Board President Uranga for his service and present him with this plaque, which on the bottom says, Roberto, thank you for making the LBCC mission front and center. Literally. Congratulations. Any comments from the board?
I guess I want to take this opportunity, as you said, Eloy, it was quite a year, one for the record books. And I want to say basically that I want to thank my colleagues on this board for their support. Basically, I was only steering the board. The rest of you did a lot of the heavy lifting in regards to the decisions that we had to make that were very tough, very contentious. You put yourselves in the line, literally and figuratively, throughout the year. And you are to be commended for your service. I, on the other hand, was very pleased with the, also want to commend the outgoing chairperson of the Academic Senate, April Juarez, for her courage, her strength also in this process, and everyone who was involved. It wasn't easy, but in the end, I think Long Beach City College is better for it. We are here, we're stable. We're going to be going through another difficult year next year with the accreditation process that we are going to be, again, challenged to meet the accreditation commission's requirements as far as being able to meet our accreditation needs. So it's not going to be another easy year. It seems like every year gets difficult, but at the same time, knowing this board, I think we're going to do the right thing as we've done in the past. When it comes down to the students, I want to also commend the students for their willingness to step up. We did have a lot of discussion. We opened it up for the students to participate in the process, and it was a process, and we all participated in it, and they certainly participated in it as well. Perhaps not to the level that we would have liked, but it was nonetheless a process that was followed, and we followed it to the letter as best we could. It was a learning experience. We learned a lot. And hopefully, I wish my colleague Jeff Kellogg and my colleague Tom Clark the best in this coming year. Looking forward to your leadership. Thank you.
Go ahead, Trustee Kellogg.
Roberto had the opportunity to sit in that chair, probably as I mentioned, during some of the most difficult times. And so I just want to, from a personal standpoint, but also on behalf of the board, that These are never easy running meetings in public. Democracy in public isn't always the cleanest process, but, and in local government, and this being part of the local government, is one of the few areas of government where people can actually speak to the legislative body. You don't see that in the state, the federal government. And it can be very challenging at times, and it can be also very personal. And I watched my colleague conduct himself with remarkable poise during a very difficult time this past year. And especially when individuals, for whatever reason, made it a very personal attack because they were upset with the process. And the person they usually attack is the one in the chair. And to sit there and watch how he handled himself professionally, personally. And many times I have to say some of the comments, I'm not going to say allegations, but were downright cruel. And also, you need to know the person. And some of the things that people were accusing him of were about the most ridiculous things, knowing his background, where he came from, and to hear some people stand up there, and I'm going, my God, they don't even know who you are, to attack you in those ways. But he handled it in a way that all of us should be proud of here at the college. It was a pleasure to serve with him during that time, and also very proud of how he conducted the business of this college during a very difficult time. I think we're all better for it, but my personal thanks for him on working through it. I have to tell you, when you're going to rotate into that position, you sort of look around and going, if this is going to be the same, why don't you stay on for another year? And because it's that challenging, but it's just one of those that I'm very proud to call him a friend, as well as a colleague during the last 12 months, especially with all those other responsibilities. And again, how he conducted himself in some ways where you really wanted to respond to some people's comments, but he handled himself in a way that it was very impressive. I also want to mention the fact that as I was talking to rotating into the presidency chair about with Tom Clark, I do not know where Tom Clark is going to be as far as where this is a political position, but when we were starting to move forward, I wanted Tom, if he decides to not run again, if this is going to be his last farewell, I said, Tom, I really would like to see you there in as vice president, because I think we, not necessarily owe is probably the bad word, but this is a gentleman that served the city of Long Beach for 30 years. He was the mayor. If you look at the city of Long Beach where it is today, his fingerprints are all over it, and that's a positive way. Please don't address that as a negative way. He has done more things in this community, and he was actually a mentor to me when I came on the Long Beach City Council, and I just said, Tom, I would really appreciate if this is going to be your last time through, I would like to honor you in this way, to be in a leadership role, but also the fact that great admiration for the man that served on this board for a long period of time, but also in his overall career. Tom Clark, when he entered, when I first entered politics, he had a lot of very wise things to give you direction on. The one that I always remembered, and pardon the French, but he said it's okay to make people mad, just don't make them damn mad. There was some truth to that, but he also said that he was a very firm believer in that when you serve an instrument with the people we have here involved in civic participation, Tom Clark was someone that always felt that if you get an elective office, there are people that do it for lots of reasons. Some they do it because they just want to be a somebody. And I always remember that, how he insisted that you as an elected official have a responsibility in the community as well. So long and short, the two gentlemen, one who's coming in, one that's going out, great admiration to both them. What they've done for this college, how they've represented themselves and this college is a tremendous tribute to everyone. And I think we should be we're in debt to what they have done, past, present. So I thank you both, and look forward to the next year, and hopefully it will be a positive year, and I believe it will. Thank you.
Jeff, thank you very much, just the way I wrote it.
Well, I'm good at that.
Any other comments from the board? All right. Hearing none, then I want to announce that the board will now take their newly assigned seats. So,
Pretty simple.
I will leave. And we'll switch. No,
I think I'm supposed to stay here. Okay.
here, Tom. Oh, I'm sorry, Roberta.
Playing music in the chairs.
You're just rich.
Just get out of my way.
Okay, Mr. Board President, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. We will begin with, we're moving to the student trustee for your report, please.
We have 1.3.
Oh,
President
my
Kellogg.
one item, that's right. Well, this is a very simple, I'm sorry, Andre, hold on. This is coming through on the, on 1.3 on the agenda item. It's the representative of the Los Angeles County Committee on School District Organizations. This is one, and traditionally at this meeting, we do assignments, but I am going to be doing those by the next meeting, but this is the one that has to be done. What I'm going to do, and maybe just start, because in the past, I don't know how we've come to who is the representative, but I'm going to just take it upon myself, unless anyone is absolutely wanting to do this. You know, so everyone's shaking their heads. So therefore, the president of the board, myself, will be the representative. So that is an action item. So if I could entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
A second that Jeff Kellogg will be the representative on this. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Now to the student trustee.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, board members, members of the community, and students. During my first meeting, I expressed my intentions for an open communication with the board, and I know we have talked about that during our retreat. But a healthy dialogue is always important, especially when we are representing more than 30,000 students, or about 30,000 students, plus all the Long Beach community. The reason of what I am bringing this issue up is because I got a little frustrated during my last board meeting when during trustee communications, I was denied the opportunity to speak. As with all reports, I am not expecting a discussion over my trustee report, even though I am open for it if it's necessary. I consider there's another items in the agenda where we can have discussions, and my understanding is that it's stated in our policies that the student trustee should be considered as a full member of the board, and I understand the limitations of that. But I would like to have some more communication with the board, especially during the trustee communication, so we can get some discussions. That day, I wanted to discuss within the board about my right to cast an advisory vote and how it can be used. I consider the student opinion and input is important and it should go into the records. After the past meeting, I have been getting also some concerns from students that I would like to express. First, in my efforts to involve the students in the student government and in the college governance as well, I have noticed that a lot of the students don't understand what is happening during the board meetings. This is a problem that generates confusion and can be resolved with more explanation from the board of what is happening. Secondly, some students are concerned about what is being reflected in the minutes. During the past year, more than 95% of the votes have been AGES unanimous. I understand the good relationships of the board members and the good relationship that the board and the administration have. But for members of the community and for students, it should be good, more explanation of how the board gets to agree in different issues that this board address. Also, I believe that the students who are trying to help and get involved should be having more consideration. Last board meeting, an interior design student was presenting a great idea of how can we consolidate interior design, a program that was discontinued, with the architecture program. I would like this board and this administration to have a follow-up in that concerns. To conclude, I want to say that I had the opportunity to attend to the LBCC power analysis that was put together by the Coalition for Good Jobs and Healthy Communities, and I want to publicly express my thanks to this group and their efforts to engage the community and educate the community. But an issue that was brought to my attention while speaking with people is about the discontinuance of the programs is why did we discontinue the programs while having 16.1 million on reserves? So I would like a little more explanation about this. Thank you.
Thank you. And I apologize. I just got an iPhone, and I don't have my kids around me to tell me how to turn it on and off, so that was me, and I apologize. And I think I just hung up on my wife, so that may be another problem, but I'll figure it all out. Don't do too much to it. Oh, that's great. Now they're going to be handling it, which means I never will figure it out. We are now to the public comment on agenda items. We have one speaker, David Root, speaking on item 12.7, which is an agenda item that we'll be discussing later. David, you have 5 minutes, and I'll give you a warning when you're to about 1 minute. You'll watch me. I'm not waving to you just because I want to wave to you.
Good afternoon. I'll be brief tonight. I just want to bring up my opinion about the property at Los Coyotes. I understand that since the purchase of this property on November 11th of 2003, that the property has been nothing but a drain on the LBCC finances, as well as an eyesore to the surrounding community. Also, it is in my opinion that any potential leases offered on this property should be honored, considering that the property is sitting vacant, as to generate some type of income on an otherwise unused and unsightly piece of property. Wouldn't it be smart to gain any type of income that we could possibly have on this property instead of having to do the upkeep, the maintenance, and the groundwork on the property? Thank you. I have one other.
All right, thank you. We're now to the consent calendar. Could I have a motion to approve the consent calendar with item 5.1 and 6.1 being removed for further discussion? I have a motion to approve the consent calendar. With
Also pulling item 12.1.
So 12.1 is being pulled by Superintendent. By who is pulling 12.1? Who's pulling 12.1?
Due to the change in the first page, there was additional language added to the
Okay.
first page after the board packet was distributed. So I want to make
Administratively.
sure everyone is aware of it.
All right, thank you. So with a motion by trustee Clark, second by, I didn't hear a second.
Second.
Second by trustee Aronga to approve the consent calendar with items 5.1, 6.1, and 12.1 pulled for discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? consent calendar is approved. Madam Secretary, 5.1.
Yeah, that was an item that I requested to be pulled. I just want to acknowledge the elections for department heads for this next year, including library, visual arts, counseling, registered nursing, trades and industrial air conditioning, child and adult development, performing arts, learning and academic resources, history and political science, culinary arts, kinesiology and health education, business administration, economics, communication studies, physical science, and geography. I want to congratulate all the new department heads in those areas and wish them well for this next coming year.
Thank you. Could I entertain a motion to approve item 5.1 now?
Move to approve.
Motion by Trustee Arango, second by Trustee Clark. No other discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 6.1, budget transfer. Chair recognizes student trustee.
Yes, thank you. The reason of which I put out is for a point of clarification. On our page 5 out of 6, the first item under General Obligations Bond Fund 46, it says that to Tekla American Southern California Inc. for Veteran Stadium Roof Replacement Project. I just want to a clarification of what roof are we talking about in the stadium?
President Oleg or Vice President Gable, do you want to on that item?
Yes, this is the roof that covers where the concession stand is, as well as the roof over the press box.
All right. Can I entertain a motion to approve item 6.1?
Excuse me, President Kellogg?
Yes.
Could you clarify that as 6.3, not 6.1? It's page 5 of 6, is that correct?
I don't see that.
No,
You
I was-
said, what page did, yes, not 6.1, as was pulled.
Is that part of the revised?
It's for her item that you pulled I had 6.1 pulled, but evidently it is 6.3 on page 5 of 6 of the 6.1 to 5. She just didn't see the numbering properly. So the vote will be on 6.3.
Okay,
Yeah,
as
it's
long as
page
you're
6 of 6.
Okay. So are we clear? Will that'll be clear for your
I need
minutes?
to vote, yes.
All right. So the motion will be to approve item 6.3. All right. Can I entertain a motion to approve that item? Consent calendar?
Move to approve.
Motion by Trustee Arango, second by Trustee Clark. No other discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is approved. Next item, 12.1. Correct?
Correct. Yes, it really is just 12.1. You can do it separately.
And there's no need to discussion on this one. I just need to entertain a motion to approve item 12.1.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Clark, second by Trustee Aranka. No discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. That does end our consent calendar.
Actually, it doesn't.
I'm sorry?
I'd ask for 5.1 to be.
We have one more item, 5.1.
Did I run by you, Doug? I'm sorry.
All right, sorry.
Item 5. That's where item 5.1. Chair recognizes Trustee Otto.
I've asked that this item be removed because what the board is proposing to do is to extend the superintendent president's contract for 2 years. It's a rollover of it's for a total of 2 years from where it would have ended now to June 30th of 2017. It's a rollover of the previous agreement with 2 exceptions. Paragraph 4D, which previously said basically that there would be an annual 4% increase of the base salary, is now changed to tie any increase up to 4% to the superintendent president's annual evaluation. And paragraph 13E just acknowledges a previous contractual obligation we have from the previous contract with the superintendent president to reimburse some CalPERS to reimburse the superintendent president for some CalPERS monies that was in his previous contract, and those are the only two changes in the agreement. And so I wanted that to be done in open session. So that's my report, and I would move approval.
There is a motion to approve item 5.1 by Trustee Otto. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Second by Trustee Clark. Any other comments, members of the board, at this time? I would just like to people say congratulations to Superintendent President Oakley for a job well done. We wanted to have this concluded in a timely fashion, but Trustee Otto did outline the business terms of it, but we're very pleased that we were able to finish this and move forward. And again, congratulations to Superintendent President Oakley for a job well done and hopefully a long career here at Long Beach City College. No other comments by members of the board at this time. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Now we're at the end of the consent calendar. So now we'll move on to Human Resources, item salary schedule, classified employees exempt from the merit system. I entertain a motion to approve.
Move approval.
Motion by Trustee Bowen,
Second.
second by Trustee Aranga. Is there any discussion on this or need for discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item carries. Next, moving forward, Academic Senate. There is no item, no report. Correct? I'm sorry, were you here last month? Okay, I was not, so I just didn't get to say, I didn't say welcome to a neighbor, and from a long time ago. So, well, welcome for me for the first time in the meeting. No item, no report on Academic Senate. Superintendent President's, no item, no report?
I do have a report.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Board President Kellogg. First of all, let me begin by thanking the board for the contract extension. I very much appreciate it, and I look forward to working with the board for many years to come. I want to introduce a couple of new faces to the dais. First of all, we have been able to get a former employee on a couple of different occasions back to Long Beach City College. He just can't get enough of us. Now as the interim vice president of academic affairs, which is a job she did for us before, although it was permanent then. So I want to welcome back Dr. Marilyn Brock as the interim vice president of academic affairs. She also has currently as well the responsibility of the dean of CTE, so she is a jack of all trades, literally. So welcome, Marilyn. Thank you for coming. And then I also want to welcome Dr. Meena Singhal, who is the new Associate Vice President of the Pacific Coast Campus. Meena is no stranger to Long Beach City College as well. She spent many a day teaching at the Pacific Coast Campus and was most recently the Dean of Academic Affairs. She took a few-week vacation down in at San Diego College, but that didn't last too long, so we're glad to have her back, and I want to welcome Meena as the new Associate Vice President of the Pacific Coast Campus, and we'll look forward to your reports. I do have a couple other comments quickly. First of all, I want to take an opportunity to clarify a little bit of confusion that occurred at the last board meeting with regard to the board's 5.5% reserve that's in current board policy. We brought forward a tentative budget that has a 5.5% reserve, and Dr. Clark made the point and actually made a motion at that meeting to bring back a budget that has a 5% reserve and to use that 0.5% to support the increase of classes for students and any other student support programs that directly impact students in the classroom. I want to make it clear that that is exactly what we're going to do. We will take that, we will come back with an adopted budget of 5% for the board and use that 5% specifically for adding classes and other direct student support services, and we will come back to report on exactly what those were. So I just want to make it clear that I did receive that direction at the request of Dr. Clark, and we are implementing that request.
Mr. President, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Tom. And finally, well, a couple things. First of all, you know, we had hoped that we could transfer some of the funds that are being held for a recall election into the classroom, but it looks like, unfortunately, we will not be able to do that. So we will continue to carry that reserve for a recall election and not put it back into the budget. And then the last thing is we are continuing to work with the Chancellor's office to look at the stability in our revenues going forward. Most recently, the Department of Finance had expressed some disagreement with the Community College Chancellor's office over the amount of redevelopment fund backfill that community colleges are going to receive, which resulted in the Chancellor's office issuing a statement that they will carry a rather large deficit factor for the community colleges until we can get this straightened out. I'm sure Vice President Gable, when we come back for adopted budget, will be able to report on that, but I think it just highlights the fact that although state revenues are beginning to go up, there is still a lot of uncertainty in how those revenues are going to be allocated in the near term, and we will continue to advocate for as much as those revenues as possible come to our community colleges. And I think it's important for all of us who have the chance to advocate that we do advocate with the legislature and with the governor that every resource that should be going to our community colleges comes to our community colleges so that we can use to bring our colleges back to health. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, Chair
I'd
recognizes
just like to
Trustee
make
Otto.
a comment about the recall election. By my estimation, it would cost about $600,000 to $700,000 for the recall election should it be held, and that's based on only 2 trustees having now been served with recall papers. So that's money that could otherwise go towards students, and I think that it's unfortunate that we might not only possibly could have to spend that money on a recall election, but also that we can't budget that money because of the way that budgets work, that you have to budget it as monies that would budget it in a way so that in case it comes up, you have to use it that way. So I just wanted to make that comment.
Thank you. Academic Affairs, no item, no report. Student Support Services, no item, no report. Administrative Services, item 12.7. President Oakley, will you or Vice
We'll turn
President?
over to Vice President Gable.
Vice President Gable?
Yes, this item was on the board in case during closed session the board chose to accept the bids that we had received for the Los Coyotes property. As Trustee Uranga reported out earlier tonight, the board rejected those bids, and so at this point in time, the Board of Trustees needs to not approve this agenda item.
So before there's discussion, could I entertain a motion then? The motion would be to not accept the proposal.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Trustee Uranga, second by Trustee Otto. That's a motion on the floor. Other comments, discussions, questions by members of the board?
Yes, I have a question about this.
Chair
I
recognizes
believe-
Trustee Bowen.
I believe when we discussed this, a concern that was brought up and I concurred with is not so much the offer itself, but the length of the offer, the 65-year lease, the fact that no matter how good the deal this is, to tie our hands for a period like that is, I mean, to me, I think that's kind of ridiculous, and I'm sure I'm not alone there. But especially if that's the concern, and it's not just myself, but my colleagues here feel that way too. I mean, some of the points that were raised by our speaker earlier about what do we do with this, I mean, and that speaker, of course, isn't the only person that I've been hearing this from a long time about. We need to have some kind of plan about, if not this, what are we going to do with this property in the long term? And I don't know if this is a last best and final offer from this bidder, but I mean, maybe.
Well, I'd be
correct me
happy
if I'm wrong,
to.
But if it's a possibility, maybe I could offer as a amendment to the motion that rather than reject it offhand, that we send it back to them with a counteroffer for a shorter period. Is that not
if
possible?
I can, let me take just a moment to clarify what we can and can't do, and I'll ask Vice President Gable chime in if I missed something. But in rejecting this offer, it allows us to go to the state of California to request that we are given the authority to directly negotiate with the bidder. Under the current contract code, we either have to accept or reject this current offer. We can't negotiate at this point. We could go back out to issue another RFP, or we could petition the state to allow us to directly negotiate with this bidder. That would be my recommendation, is what we do, to see if there's anything else we can do with this bidder. If they are not able to provide us with terms that are satisfactory to the board, we have the opportunity to go back out at some point in time. I also think it's important to clarify some confusion about this property. This property is one piece, one parcel that is part of a larger contiguous property that we own, in which we do have revenue generating tenants on this property, in which we generate nearly $500,000 a year that has gone directly into providing support for students and classes. We have been generating revenue off this property since we purchased it. What we're referring to is one piece of the property, and I forget what the square footage or acreage is. I don't know if you know, Vice President Gable. That is vacant. That is on this contiguous parcel, and that is the piece that we're talking about leasing out. So the property itself that we own will continue to generate revenue. It is not a drag on the finances of the district. It generates positive revenue for the district, but we will look at other options, including being able to negotiate directly with this bidder to see if we can get a better deal.
Okay. Well, then, based on what you've said, I was wondering if I could at least add as an amendment language because to answer the concerns of so many people, not just the one that spoke tonight, about what we're going to do in the long term, that we attach language to indicate that we're not just going to drop the ball on this, that we're going to reject this, but we're going to continue negotiations to try to figure out some alternative. Would that be?
Let me turn it over to Vice President Gable on exactly what we can and cannot have in the wording.
Right, we can't make that amendment. The only thing we can do is we can either approve and accept the bid, which we've already rejected the bid in closed session. So right now, for this agenda item, we have to reject this agenda item. The next steps, as President Oakley spelled out, we can either choose to rebid the project, or we can go to the Board of Governors and request a waiver. Now, in order to request a waiver, first we would have to make a public notice to our local public agencies, and then 30 days after that notice has been made to those public agencies, we would hold a public hearing at one of our regularly scheduled board meetings, indicating that we want to request a waiver from the Board of Governors to allow us to locate and negotiate with a potential bidder for a ground lease on this property. So those are I guess, tonight's choice. You can just basically reject this action, and then if the board desires, you can either direct me to rebid it or to try to get the waiver. And so if we want to get the waiver, then I have to make a notice to public agencies. 30 days after that notice has been out and to them, then we can hold a public hearing at one of our regularly scheduled board meetings, whereby we would indicate we want to request a waiver. And the reasons that we would want to request a waiver is that we've already followed all the education code. We've gone out to bid once. We had an unsuccessful bid, and so we don't think by rebidding it we're going to get any additional successful bidders. And so then this would allow us to negotiate directly with any other potential bidders. And as President Oakley indicated, it is 2.2 acres of land that is currently fenced off and is a vacant lot. So that's the piece of property that we were trying to find a developer to increase the amount of money that would be coming into the unrestricted general fund.
Other members of the board?
Student trustee. Let her speak.
Student trustee, do you have a question?
Yes, and I remember that these properties was an issue that was brought by one community member, and I had the opportunity actually to go through these properties, and I know my understanding is that we own 3340 Los Coyotes and also 3330 Los Coyotes, right? I think 3330 Los Coyotes is the one that is a building that I believe is the building that we are leasing and from which we are getting revenues. When I was driving through it, 3340, I saw that this property has a warning of toxic waste. Does this have something, or can I have some clarification on that?
Yeah, no, I'm not aware of what you're referring to. We don't have any signage on any of our property that would suggest we have hazardous waste.
Well, it is the warning there. I drove like this past weekend. Maybe you can go and check it out, and maybe for the next board meeting have some clarification about it.
If you can give Vice President Gable the exact location where you saw the signage, we can certainly clarify that.
When the property was purchased, there was, at the time, it was a call center, I believe. And then prior to that, it may have been a medical facility of some sort, going years and years ago. So the center, the two office buildings that generate revenue, you've already touched on that. It is a positive cash flow for the college, correct? Those buildings, we make money.
Yes.
As a tenant, or with tenants there. The property we're talking about for this discussion is now a vacant lot. My question is, in this proposal, because I know when we received interest from different developers at one point that they wanted to present something, and they've done so. This particular vacant lot that we're discussing solely is zoned for what currently? And I'm raising it just for a reason.
I don't know the technical term, but it's multi-use, and it's very rare within the city of Long Beach what it's zoned for.
Yeah, and that was sort of a real leading question. It is, and my concern has been whenever you have a development and that is surrounded by residential R1 communities, my concern at the time was that it's a vacant lot right now. The biggest issue we will have is usually it's weed abatement. It is not a zone use once you get into construction, and my concern back then was that even though people were looking at it, and unfortunately they have they've misrepresented what the property is. When it was purchased, there was some intent what the college was thinking about doing there as far as a satellite facility for, I want to say it was culinary arts at one time, but that was proposed, never official. And so the property sits there. We maintain it. We make money from it that rolls into this college. And so I think that I like the motion because unless somebody comes forward with a better proposal for that, the problem to me was going to be when somebody starts to develop that is when you're going to hear from the community. And even though it's a zoning issue, which is the city of Long Beach, it's going to be a land use with the Long Beach City College. And I felt we were going to take a tremendous amount of flack from the residential community because it is truly an R1, residential one dwelling. And so I'm actually pleased that we went out, we accepted proposals, one came in. It really isn't economically the best deal. Most people will look at that financially. So it can always be developed in the future. Other proposals can come forward. But I always said let's move cautiously, and I think the motion currently on the floor is a good one. But I think you've heard it enough that that is a misrepresentation when the property is a drain on this college. It actually is a cash generator. Other comments? I'm sorry.
I would just call the question.
Trustee Otto? I'm
Call
sorry.
the question.
Call the question. All those in favor of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion then carries. Thank you. Item 12.8, this is a simple resolution. Entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Motion by Trustee Ronga, second by Trustee Clark. Any discussion on this item on 12.8? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 12.8 carries. Pacific Coast Campus, no item, no report. Correct. Welcome. All these people are new. I was not here last meeting. Next item, college advancement and economic development. No item, no report.
Correct.
Thank you. Academic Senate. No item, no report.
Just want to say one thing. Thank you. In the coming year, I want to highlight some of the programs of the Academic Senate that, as far as I'm concerned, don't get enough press. And so I'll be inviting programs such as the Honors Program and Faculty Professional Development to present to the trustees, just so that you can learn more about them. So just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. Look forward to it. Always look forward to positive things. Trustee communication. Is there any trustee communication? Chair recognizes Trustee Ronga.
Yes. I don't know if many of you read the newspaper recently, the obituary section. I think it was on Friday or Saturday. We had the passing of former Board of Trustee Dr. Bill Millington. Dr. Millington was a trustee for Long Beach City College from 1990 to 1994. He also served during a period of time of change for City College. And he was also a mentor to many Latino PhDs and master's programs candidates that came from Long Beach City College. So I'd like to move that we close the meeting tonight in his memory. Phyllis, you knew Dr. Millington as well. Do you want to say anything?
Sorry, I'm not prepared, but he definitely a great guy. Mentor to a lot of students and a lot of faculty.
Thank you, and we will adjourn the meeting in his honor. Other trustee communications at this time? I just want to thank everybody today. We actually had our board retreat. Thank you all for participating, being part of it. I thought it was very positive. Some of the items we went through, some of the goals we have for the upcoming year, going over a lot of items. We do have things such as accreditation, which is critical coming forward. And so I just wanted to thank everyone for being involved in that. I also, because as I become president of the board for the next 12 months, we all try to set personal goals, what we're trying to achieve, trying to look forward. And so as I'm sitting here, one of the items you're going to see, and it is within the board, I don't know if regulations is the proper word, but as far as trying to make the agenda a little more conducive to what I think will run a meeting. And I've always been a little bit, I've voiced this previously, and now I'm going to try to move it forward. And the next meeting will reflect some changes in our format for the agenda, where all the communications are put in the same area. They're not scattered throughout. And so just everyone be aware that, and I'm only doing it because I think the meetings can run a little more efficiently, not as if they're not running efficiently, but it's always been a little bit disjointed to me. And so I'd like to take that opportunity as the chair to see if we can do this. I don't think it's going to make anything much better than what we've done in the past, but I think it would just flow a lot better. And so I just want you to be aware of that I'm going to be working on some of those and then bringing them back. And I mentioned, of course, the accreditation. That's what we have coming up. And the other item, and I've talked about working on this, and many times in the past year is probably reflected, and I've talked to President Oakley about this, and we're members of statewide organizations, and I'm really trying to do some things, and I think we can tie it into some things we are currently trying to do in the future about getting some other boards to where we host, and some boards actually have regional, I don't know what you would call those regional organizations, but my point is we have the statewide organization for trustees. We have a national that Trustee Arango was the president of, but I feel it's important that we try to find a way to get people together, because the retreat also emphasized to me how important those retreats are, because you can, as I mentioned earlier, how difficult it is to do business. Sometimes in a public forum like this, it's very stringent. We follow rules and regulations. So some people don't understand that we have to go through a very structured process, and a retreat helps us as a board, but also along those same lines of other colleges in the general area, because I think it's important to, I always say, you're not alone. People seem to come to us many times and say, well, why is it happening here? When in reality, many of us know it's happening everywhere, and I think those type of meetings are very important. So those are some of the things I'm going to be working on in the next 12 months to try to make this as positive for everyone, for input, making sure they feel they're part of the process, but also make sure the process works properly, and then also to reach out to some of the surrounding areas. So that's just some of the personal things I'm going to try to accomplish within the next year. I'm sorry, any other trustee communications at this time? Hearing none, there is no new business. Future reports, none to report at this time. There is no public comments on non-agenda items. I do not have, correct, Madam Secretary? And there is no need for a second closed session. So at this time, I would like to, without objection, adjourn the meeting of the Board of Trustees in memory of former trustee Bill Millington. Without objection, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Good night.